Mike. Sorry about that. Hello, good day, everyone. This is Da Central, and I'm welcoming everyone to today's live stream. So happy to be seen today. To start with, today happens to be Father's Day. Father's Day. Okay, Father's Day, not days. So everyone is celebrating Father's Day today, and it's been a lovely time out. I've been seeing some funny expressions by some fathers in the house, but today we are heading straight into a a very important discussion we are going to be having this evening. Is We are actually going to talk about two matters. I'm hosting a particular young entrepreneur uh, on this show today. He happens to be someone with huge wealth of experience from the communication industry and the likes. Presently, he has resigned to start doing his own thing, and he's coming up to tell us what he's venturing into because he just published a book, and the book is going to be launched, uh, I think, anytime soon. I want him to come and talk about it on air. Then the other side is this gist that has been going on. Okay, I can cite him at the background. The other side is this gist that has been going on about the painful murder, I call it murder, the painful death of this Lagos billionaire, the TV CEO of, I think, the CEO of Superstar TV or what have you, by the so called side chick. And before we go into the book launch, I want to start with this particular story because I find it appalling. And based on the fact that we are talking about Father's Day today, I think we should just talk some sense into the people that are masquerading. Oh, sorry, not masquerading, with myself inclusive. I think we should just talk to ourselves as men, uh, to start using our brain, our head very well, so that we don't end up the way this young man ended up, just snatching his life away. To me, I think he just gave himself this he gave himself over to this evil that befell him. But before we enter into that, let me invite our guest in. And now we welcome Chooks Ogbekile. Hello, Chooks.
Dayo, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm
How
good.
are you doing?
How are
Okay,
you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's been quite a
Okay.
while.
Oh,
Yeah,
seriously. I think it should be up to almost a year plus now that we've seen each other.
very likely. Very likely.
Okay. I want you to
Yeah.
introduce yourself to my audience before we start up with the first matter with respect to this billionaire that was murdered by a side chick that might probably not even be educated or just a loafer somewhere. So let my people meet with you, please. You have the floor.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that. But at the beginning of your opening, whatever, I couldn't really catch up then. But
Okay.
after the introduction, I want you to possibly enlighten me more on what it is all about when you started. Now
Okay.
I am Chooks Bekile. I'm a graduate of Economics and Statistics of the University of Benin of same department.
Okay.
And an entrepreneur, I would say a serial entrepreneur and an
Hmm.
entrepreneurial life coach.
Okay.
And because of that, I have had to, based on popular demands, some of the things you teach us from one seminar to the other, why not put it into a book? Okay, fine. So that was what brought to bet the book, the prize for the prize, and basically leveraging entrepreneurial opportunities in our age and in our
Okay.
environment. There are entrepreneurial opportunities, no matter how we look at it, in our age that were not there some time or some years ago, but they are there now. And here again, we have whenever every one of us have to take the pain to do some sort of environmental scanning. There is every entrepreneurial opportunity in every environment, including where you and I stay.
Okay, that's nice. Fellow followers, subscribers on this channel, I wanted to say on this planet, on this channel, we are going to be going into that, but we want to start with the first one first, which is Chooks, are you aware of this sad news that is going around about this CEO that the married man that was killed by a girlfriend, a side chick? Are you aware of that story?
Really, I have not. I think I'm getting to know that for the first time. Really.
Okay, okay. Let me just talk about this. This story is about this young man called Michael Usifo Ataga, who happens to be the CEO of Super TV. He was actually murdered in cold blood, very dastard, as in very dastardly act, a very painful murder, because we were told, according to what we heard about the story, he's married, he has children. His wife works in NMPC, so it's not that he married a loafer. He actually got married to a very high class lady, somebody that is a professional. And as the children and the wife, they are based in Abuja, which is the capital, federal capital territory of Nigeria. But while he is based in Lagos, and you know where he stays? He stays in Banana Island. And you and I know that anybody staying in Banana Island most probably must be a multi. You understand?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
multi-millionaire or billionaire to be able to afford that luxury. But I am not here to castigate the man, but I'm here to talk about we men. We should really address ourselves, because today is Father's Day, and I just look at that. This is the best time to talk about this. You discover that sometimes we men, we behave as if we are he goats. We behave as if we really think less. The more we make money, the more the little change comes into our hands. We don't really take care of the real wife that has stayed with us through thick and thin. But to continue with the story, he rented a Airbnb for this girl, and while he went to meet the girl there, that was how the girl drugged him and stabbed him multiple times. Neck, blah blah blah, according to the stories and whatever investigation that is on it. Now, this man lost his life, probably to a girl that might not have anything of value to her, to his life. Just maybe, probably, maybe she has some boobs, she has some whatever, and that is all they have. Because most of the time, these jokers that men run after, they don't have anything to offer. They can't run a shop, talk less of a company. Most times they can't even work in any organizations, because they are just empty skull. The only thing they understand is paper, that is called money.
Yeah.
And once you make the mistake of bringing such girls into your life, you have just prepared your obituary. So, Chooks, I really want to know what is it about men that makes us, I'm not castigating the man, I'm talking about we now that are still alive, because the man is dead and gone.
Yeah.
What is it about us that we don't really get? It's like we don't understand our system, that we just derive pleasure in creating problems that are not there for ourselves.
Okay. Setro, thank you for that. I think one, I may not be able to come out vividly to say these are reasons, these are what and what and what. But I know too that, particularly based on the circle of influence, the kind of people I move around with and or whatever, I really can't lay my hands on any of them who would go this far, debasing themselves to the point of what has happened in this case. But I know too, we were all students of social psychology. Why do people behave the way they behave? And I think for some of them, they, it is childhood habit, which is difficult to break away from. If you look critically, you see that some of them, if we have to compare, the wives they have at home are far better than these girls they are chasing, running after. And in every sense of class, these girls are not matched to what they have at home or their wives they have at home. But in spite of that, they still go and, I mean, so debase themselves that imagine a business, a well known business person coming here now to die in the hands of one, I don't know how to describe. It's painful. I think it's most times it's a childhood habit, which is not easy to cut away from. It is one of the things that is troubling some persons. And like you have rightly said to Dio, it's like money too can be seen as power. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Many people, once they lay hands on money, it like it intoxicates them, and they get drunk and they begin to misbehave and do what they would not have done. But I know that no matter the volume of money that comes into your hand, for some of you I know, whom I know, I understand very well for what they do. If you are a man of vision, tell me the kind of money that will come into your hand that you will not see what you good use you will put it into, that will impart humanity. But when you are not a man of vision and some kind of money, I don't know, by any design, comes and take over your life, I think it could be another reason for this misnomer. And it's for the businessman, it's quite pathetic. It's painful. It's painful.
You know what? When you say, no being me, I'm citing you, just give me a minute, I'm adding you up. When you say a vision, now I was now asking myself, come to think of it, this man, this man is a CEO of an organization, a reputable organization. For you to be a CEO, I want to believe that should be vision. You should have as in high level, high net worth kind of vision that is pursuing. Yet you see says this being displayed.
Uh,
And before you comment, you remember the fact that even in the university, you see some professors,
yeah.
they become so stupid when it comes to even students that are underneath them. They are
Mm-hmm.
married, they have children at home, yet they will not even allow our classmates back then in school to have peace of mind. I know a particular one that I don't want to mention, but that lady till date, she is so grateful to me because a particular lecturer was after a matter. He just wanted to make sure that he sleeps with her. The
Yeah.
lady came crying to me and the likes, and I just told her that if it will take you to have a carryover in that course, carry the course over, carry the course over instead of you to allow this haggard looking old man with no vision, but with multiple of demons in him, because I believe most of them they are schizophrenic, to sleep with you. And when you are about, I told the lady that when in the future maybe you are now about getting married, the story of this exploit will now leak into the hand of your future husband. Then your life is scattered, your life is destroyed. And I thank God that that lady listened to me. And now she had carryover, but she passed out. Now I'm surprised she's married, and happily married, and she's outside this country now. So I don't think it's the issue of vision alone. There is more
Okay.
to it.
If I may come in here, Dio, permit me to quote the Bible. The Bible says, when there is no vision, the people perish. In some more liberal translations, it says, when there is no vision, people cast off restraint. There are some things some people will invite me into, but knowing fully well that it does not help my vision, it does not really add up to, there's something about human beings. When when you have vision, you have lined up plans for your life, you have seen a future that you want to live, a future of your dream, and you are working towards it. There are some lifestyles, particularly if you are a consequence conscious person. You mentioned some of those people. That somebody is at the top there today does not mean he actually has vision. If you are at the top, does it end there? Let's know that success is not a destination. One may have seen them as a professor or whatever. Success is a journey. And whatever you are, wherever you think you have gotten to in every aspect of life, in every level of life, there is somebody who have exceeded that. And
Exactly.
if you are the type that keeps dreaming and you want to push ahead and be better, keep serving humanity, and in the course of serving humanity, you keep improving on yourself. These are vision roadmaps that those who are involved in them, they will be conscious of what they do. And I keep saying, especially if you are a consequence conscious person, you can't be so educated that you don't know that there are consequences attached to every of our actions, and in some cases inactions.
Okay.
It is still a case of lack of vision. If you have a roadmap that you have drawn for yourself, and this is the type of life you want to live, and this is the type of life you want to live, there are some steps you don't take. I think
Okay.
that is where the problem is.
Okay. With that, I'll come back to you. We have no being me online with us. I want to hear the female perspective. How do you mothers, how do you ladies out there, how do you see men? Because to me, my opinion about fellow men might not be that good. Maybe because um, I experienced some from somebody that is supposed to be a father to me, and I might not have a very good father to son relationship in that aspect. So whenever I see men going outside their marriage, I it pisses me off because it makes me remember that I once had a dad that left my mom and went after a side chick, and he ended up bringing the side chick home. That was what led to his death. So I see men that are doing this as they have just signed their contract to exit this world. It's a painful thing. So, newbie me, please, what is your own contribution to this? What will you say about this matter? Hello, newbie me. Can you unmute yourself so that we can hear you?
Putting me on. Please forgive me. Oh,
Hello.
hi.
Okay,
First
we are
time,
listening.
you put it. Yes, I better. Phone is my line where I'm is really bad, so I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Hi, I'm here. Okay,
Oh, I
I'm in a hotel in Texas, so the service is really bad. But
okay.
I think what you're saying is important because taking advantage of you can't hear me. It's okay. I'll try to get a better signal, but I'll come in later.
Okay, okay, okay. Let me quickly say this that Chooks, I think that the men, whenever they have money, most men, whenever little money, little change gets into their hand, they feel they can just use that financial status of theirs, you know, to take advantage of women. That's my feeling.
Um, I will I will not totally disagree with you on that, but I still pass it back to what I have said. Any money that comes into your hand that you don't have a plan for before it even came, sometimes could be likened to taking additional shot of alcohol.
Hmm.
And yes, and why do they think so? Because the women too, society, permit me to say here, Dio, that the women too are contributory. Today is Men's Day. We're supposed to concentrate on men and issues concerning men. But I want to say that some women too are contribute to it, in the sense that society sometimes made it so. An average woman growing up as a girl, some of them depend on one boyfriend or whatever, and from there you grow up. The boyfriend could pass to become husband, or another person takes over as husband. You have another dependent. Then from there you have children. In some of the stories we read today, children will possibly give their mother more than their father, because they believe that he has, at least he owns that building, he's the one collecting the rent and everything. So the woman becomes another dependent again. Under normal circumstances in life, we are supposed to move from dependence to independence, then from independence to interdependence. But along this continuum, many of them don't move. Oh, they too, some of them. Have you not had ladies? I sometimes men sell such ideas to them. I mean, you are too beautiful to be suffering. You are too beautiful. They call work suffering. It's part of what I reflected in that book. And it is most of the time. Sorry, we as statisticians, I may not be able to bring out enough statistical facts to back up this, that it is with women most times I hear things like, I won't want my children to pass through what I passed through. And what if you examine what they claim they passed through? It was basically because they possibly joined you in a DO1 engineering in school to read and read for hours. So they see such lives as tough. Some of them saying adventures they have made, hard works, um, the decisions they have taken, and all what they've gone through. And they forgot that that was what brought them where they are. But they will now come and tell you they don't want their children to pass through such things. And I don't think people should begin to have a put work into a better perspective. Um, it, um, Bishop Oyedepo was quoted to have said that nothing works for those who don't work. It is when women make themselves available and cheap that such men will have a peanut to throw around to look for such women. There are some of the women that no matter what you have, you may not be able to get them. So that is the problem. Women of vision, they hardly fall
Okay.
for success.
Okay, you know what I will just say. I have a very live case. I think I brought the matter up here, and I brought the lady on this channel. I brought her up live on this channel. We discovered that the story was that the husband of this lady died, and the families of the lady took over their property. Despite
Okay.
that the fact that the lady has a boy for the late man, they took possession of their property. They were sent off like that. And this lady tried to go to the friend of her late husband to request for assistance. Do you know what they were all asking for? They want to sleep with her. So that is another reason why I feel that majority of some stupid men, I call them stupid in capital letter, majority of
Mm.
some stupid men Whenever they have little cash in their hand, they just feel like they can just get women like properties that they can use to cool off. So, and this is what is destroying the society, because as you are doing that, you are not praying that any of your, most of the time, they don't pray that such happen to their children.
Mm-hmm.
They want to hand over their own children in marriage,
Mm.
but they want to go in bed with other people's children. They want to sleep with other people's children. They want to sleep with other people's wives. It's terrible. So I see that the men just take pride in this once they have money in their account. Because in this story, can you imagine that the side chick has the password to the man's what's it called? Man's phone, man's ATM, rather, ATM card. And I know that most men like that, they will not allow even their housewife to have such access. So how do you meet up with a girl on the street? How do you meet up with a side chick, a girl of no trace,
Mm.
and you allow her to have access to all this? So
I think,
it's really, really painful.
yeah,
It's
Dio,
really,
it's painful. It's a lack of wisdom, and I don't know how best to describe it. We are speaking in a forum that could go public tomorrow. I um, well, it apply as it applies to men, it applies to women. Just that we are focusing on men today. Some men are actually less than men, but I think it still has to do with one, upbringing, and two, lack of vision. So
yeah,
many of them have faulty upbringing. They take unnecessary risk. They so trust girls outside even more than they trust the repose on their wives, that to the extent that somebody would open up your PIN number to a girl, and most often than not, their wives does not have such PIN and access to what they do. It begins to make one wonder. Like one professor one time said that we are largely a group of certificated illiterates, and we all have we look for additional degrees, gather the quali. Some of them, if in the course of looking for it, you get to this gate of the university. If it were possible, you see them selling it, you pick one and pay them, and you go back, and they don't think, they don't reason. And even as I talk to you now, in spite of these examples that we are still tabling here, some men will still go foolish even when this lasts in our memory in the shortest possible time. I begin to wonder, is it that they don't read? Is it that they don't? Well, they maybe there are people. I have no doubt. I can't but mention and refer to the price for the price. I did mention there and I emphasize it. I gave my illustrations. Why I believe that many people look, but only few see. Such men don't see.
okay. Let me try to bring in a new being me. Hello.
Hello, Papas. Can you hear me?
Very clear, very clear, very clear. Now you have the floor.
Give thanks. First and foremost, thank you for having, inviting us on. And this subject that you're talking about is so imperative. You hit the nail right on the head when you're talking about men and power and money. You feel me? Actually, I'm gonna try to turn on my
Exactly.
camera. So yeah, that whole men, power, and money situation. Even that paradigm comes from our colonizers. There is so
Hmm.
much history in that trafficking of women. So even sometimes in a way, it's not even trafficking, it's light trafficking. Because if a man is married and has an obligation, what is his reason to go somewhere else, you know? And I understand this world system is so cold blooded right now. Like you can't even like reason we with people of the world. Where it gets really is where people will use this thing on a Bible thing, like, oh, I can have look at Abraham and look at Father Israel, Father Jacob. But people, me and my husband talk about this all the time, and my husband is he's very much against it because he reasoned that the property. This is when you start thinking women are property, it becomes problematic. And if we look at the Genesis story, it was a problematic situation. Mama Sarah wanted a child, and she didn't have enough faith to wait on God. So she kind of lightweight kind of played the, like, I don't want to say the madam role, you know, but she knew she was like in the society that they were in, her and Abraham not having children, it was like an embarrassment. And his name was Abraham, father of many nations. So it was like a joke, you know? So she was kind of like, you know, so in that situation, she brought up the idea. Sometimes women in these situations were like, oh, well, if I'm not making you happy, well, go get somebody else. We don't really mean that. You feel me? We don't really mean that, but sometimes men will run with it, right? Now, in terms of Mama Sarah's situation, it didn't work out too well, right? And then father even had to tell Abraham, okay, after she was like, I'm not feeling this, I made a mistake. She came to father and said, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize. And a lot of men that get into situations like this where there are extramarital activities, I think just the whole coming to confession and understanding that to really be in repentance, to be like, Father, what's wrong? I know I'm a lustful person. I know that we have these things, but men cannot justify it because society is doing it. And I think a lot of men, especially with power and money, it again, Jacob's situation, that was again another property situation. That was men and property, and then women, fights among women, and it doesn't work. Have one wife. Christ said it. One wife, one wife. Because the Bible is not a story to be like a fairy tale. It tells you the good, the bad, the ugly, and what not to do. You understand? Even Solomon had 99 problems, and that was those are his women, and hence that's why he lost his salvation. There's no, and I know right now in this situation, I mean, Instagram, I go to these devices, the device, you know, it's hard. I can't even imagine a man having to go scroll through all that social media and see just sex everywhere. We understand that, fathers. We understand that, brothers. We understand that. And mothers, sisters, don't emulate that harlot, because it's not necessarily the women's fault, but they are following. Oh, what you like? Okay, let me make myself that. And that doesn't help either. So it's like a conundrum of morality. It's a conundrum of respect. And if I have a grandfather who was married to one woman, that was my grandma, and they had one child together. That's my mother. But because he had power and money, and he worked for the government, he had up to 24 children. Different baby mom. And I can tell you, the result of most of the children, bad seed, bad fruit, bad energy. You know, I'm not saying everybody was, but a lot of majority was. You know what I'm saying? And so the men, a nation building starts with family, and it's just dramatic when you're building or developing side relationships, not even giving the woman the choice or the information to say, I'm going to be a part of this. Understand, there are some polygamous. I myself am not a wife I can only have one husband. So men, if you're gonna get with women, make sure is she one of them, hey, I'm down for the team and yeah, I need extra wives with me, then let's have that conversation. But if you know your wife will probably cause only harm or spiritual harm to you, I feel the same way. Don't do this. And it's part of the enemy. Remember, Cain, everyone. There's only two people. We either belong to the side of Abel and Seth, which is one. Seth had the babies for his fallen brother Abel, or we belong to Cain. And Cain, let me remind you, is one of the most
Okay, I think we're having a little bit of a technical issue with your audio there, but we got most part of what you are saying. Now, if you look at this, whenever I look at the picture of this man, I see somebody that is fulfilled in financial aspects, uh, professional aspects, and the likes. Is really looking well taken care of. It doesn't look to me like somebody that is going through any form of pressure. But for him to use his hand to go and pick a girl that ended up taking his life, I think it should be a lesson to all the brothers, all the men out there. And I want to just appeal to us before we take any action, before we make any decision, let us always think about our beautiful wives at home, about our children. Don't let us be selfish and just a few minute pleasure, wrong pleasure with some strange girls that they will never love you. No women outside, no lady outside, no female outside your marriage can actually love you like your wife, because number one, they will have this high level jealousy that they will want to take over your home front. They will want to be part of your real family, and they can go any level, even to destroy your children, destroy your marriage, destroy your wives, and the like. So I'm using this opportunity, being that today is Father's Day, to talk sense into our brothers, African, non-African, whatever continent you belong to. So far you are a man, please let's think twice, because we are seeing a whole lot. Let me react to some comments from our followers here. I think Nikki Denning says, hello from USA. This is unfortunately not shocking. Imagine, not shocking. There are college students who seek sugar daddy and their dollars to subsidize their college fee in Africa. You can imagine that. You can imagine that. I don't want to believe it's only in Africa. It can be in any part of the world. But let me say this. I know that there might be some college ladies, there might be some females that are actually looking for married men to come and become like a cash cow for them, to become their ATM where they can always go and withdraw. But let me tell you, it is you, that you are the man that will determine to lock up your third leg, because it is that time all men start locking up their third leg. Once you are married, just be faithful to your wife. I don't want to believe there is any special thing in between what your wife is carrying and what any other girl is carrying. It's just anytime you have such feeling, just know that something wants to just terminate your life. Something wants to just end your life abruptly, because you can never be balanced once you start doing that. It leads to a whole lot. It opens you for demonic oppression. It opens you for attack. Even your businesses will start having some strange influences. So when Nikki is talking about some ladies, yes, we should not forget the fact here that some ladies are not who you think they are. Some are actually possessed to the teeth. They are coming for who to destroy, and nothing is free in this world. They are coming to look for who to destroy, homes to break, families to render useless, glory to be wasted. And it is up to you, the man. That's why you are called man. You are the manager of anything. It's up to you to manage your emotions. And that is why there should not be gap between husband and wife for too long, so that you don't give in to this. And I think one of the strategy that I believe do work is that husband and wife should be playmates, not running your family like a boss and what's it called, servant relationship. So Nikki says, I agree 100% with you guys. Poor upbringing, bad influence. Thank you, sister, for sharing biblical values. Important to learn. Have boundaries. Okay. Now let me just state this. I grew up in a place that I saw some children, and I'm so sorry. I wouldn't know if any of them might be watching. We lived together at a particular point in life. But what I saw them do, right in my presence, they were raping a part. When I say my presence, as in we live in the same compound, and right under the nose of everybody, they were raping a particular girl on the same street. While that was going on, I just came back and I was hearing some noise, and parents in different apartments pretended as if there was nothing. The girl was calling for help. I left my place. I made sure that that girl was out. I started shouting. I started calling every other person. Can't you hear that a girl is crying here? If anything happens to this girl, because I know that that's the only way I can gather people. I was a youth then. That was the only way I can gather matured people to start banging on their door. I said, if this girl dies here, everybody in this compound must be arrested, because you are hearing that they are raping a girl and you pretended as if it's none of your business. The next thing I will hear, it was shocking. I'm telling you something that has happened over 30 years ago. No, sorry, over 20 years ago. And I was shocked when I heard what some people were saying. Some parents were saying, hey, is it not the girl that went to meet them herself? Is that reasonable? They were blaming the girl for going to meet them. Fine.
No, this is
Let's assume that the girl went to meet them. Will she go and meet them with the mind that she will be raped? I don't get it. Some parents are just, they are not thinking right. Maybe they are drinking some things that are really taking away their brain. I was so angry, but I thank God. Will I say I thank God, because they actually ended up raping the girl. But I thank God that at least I disturbed the whole neighborhood until they released the girl. Now, do you want to tell me that such boys that perpetrated that evil about 15, 20 years back, should they get married now? Do you think they will not, if they become financially okay, they will still not do it to some other persons? They can rape their housemaid. They can do anything. They can just do a whole lot. So this is actually very, very painful. So I don't want to blame the ladies. I don't want to blame the ladies today. I want to put the blame on we men. We should control that our third leg, because you are actually killing yourself. There is nothing sweet about it. The sweetest thing in life, is to help people without looking for anything to gain from them. That is the sweetest thing you can ever do in life. Helping people that are not financially okay, that are in no position to pay you back. That is real help. So let me go through what Faith is saying. Could the man have had issues with low self-esteem? I wouldn't know. The guy is dead now. If he's having low self-esteem, he wouldn't be the CEO of his organization. And look at him. He's looking is looking nice and well shaped, he has money. Sometimes that's why sometimes some women will be praying that their husband should not have too much money, but that's wrong also, because they know that the tendency of such men, they have the traits you'll be seeing in them. Once they have little money, they don't stay back at home. During weekend, they want to travel. Even when their organization doesn't have any any branch in Abuja, they will leave Lagos. They will say they have meeting at Abuja. So I'm talking to you, all the fathers in the house. Some of you just need to check your ways. And maybe if you think maybe you do not have the power to correct it, then you better go to Jesus. That's my last that's my last point. You better go to Jesus and ask him to help you, because this thing is taking a whole lot of lives. There is another story that I don't want to talk about today. Another lady cut off the manhood of his partner because of infidelity. So we should know, men should know that so many girls out there now, they are mad. They can kill for the fun of it. How much did this girl, after killing the man, after killing a multi-millionaire that lives in Banana Island, one of the best place, one of the most expensive place in Nigeria and even in West Africa, she withdrew about 5 million naira already from the man's account. 5 million naira. Is that worth it to take the life of a billionaire? And the issue is that men, we should also be very, very careful, because some of these ladies, they know that you will never help them until you sleep with them. They are planning your funeral. So be careful. Let's all be guided. Let me just go through some other comment before we enter into the next section, because I do not intend to keep us along on this today's live stream. So, oh, we have someone here.
Oh, Papa Dale.
Oh,
Someone else is coming in. Great.
Faith. Hello, everyone.
oh my goodness.
Hi, Nibumi. And good evening, Mr. Chooks. Yeah. I'm
Nice
sorry. I
meeting
was
you.
listening to the conversation. I didn't join from the beginning, so I'm not quite sure, how it went. But I just wanted to touch on the bit with the low self-esteem the statement I made there, because there are rich people who have low self-esteem. So, for example, someone that is rich, in that state of being in the place of having low self-esteem, they hide behind the money. So the money, because they have money now, they use that as a front, and they use that to measure their worth and their value. But deep within, there's still something that is not as it should be, if I should say that. So there are people, because having low self-esteem doesn't mean you're not intelligent or you can't achieve things. Low self-esteem can affect the way you use your body, you use yourself, you use your time. Because I think that some people, they won't tell you what's in their bank account. I mean, men or women, but they're very secretive with what they have. But it doesn't take much for them to just expose their bodies and share their precious members with strangers. And you kind of wonder what kind of mindset that is. And I also feel that nowadays, in society, both abroad and I think in Nigeria as well, because I see stuff from the Nollywood and the music scene and stuff, things of sex has become a tool for trading. So that's why you would have a young woman who wants to go to college, wants to buy a car, wants to live large. She trades her body for money or wealth, So they hook up with a sugar daddy who can make that provisions because of what they want. And that is, you have that kind of scenario when one's priorities is, messed up. You haven't got your priorities right. Do we actually know what it is that we carry in our bodies? Do we know the power of our mind, and the wealth that is in the mind. And what happens when, the effect of the food that we eat has on our body, whether the food is ingested through the mouth, whether it's the food that we listen to, whether it's the food that we see, if you get what I'm saying, or even what we receive from other people, especially in the place of intimacy. Do we know the effect that it has on our bodies? Do men know? I mean, I was doing a research the other day, and I wondered if some men even know how, I mean, we don't have any underage children here, how sperm is produced in their bodies and what it does. I mean, this thing has the ability to bring forth another human being. Who are you making this human being? Some people would think twice before they enter into a business contract with someone, but people just go and sleep with each other and exchange body fluids. That has the power. That's part of your life force that you're pouring out. You could use that energy to invest and create, bring in some new invention for mankind to benefit from. That same energy that you used to pour out into a woman is that same life force that we used to create. It's a creative force, so powerful that it can generate another human being. Or we use it to build businesses, empires, So I think there's a lack of understanding there. And also being aware of the times that we're in and what's been pushed out through the media and maybe even other people's lifestyle into our faces. And when you have this kind of thing with children, they grow up thinking that is the norm. So if they've already taken the wrong path, as they grow older, they become reinforced in wrong actions. And so where, you can't say, we can't even say the fault is here, because men have that as well, or raised in, situations that are not beneficial to them, and then they grow up with the wrong mindset. So likewise, we have women who grow up like that, wrong upbringing. And so the way they see the world is skewed. The way they see other human beings is skewed. So they end up making the wrong decisions. Men or women are both important. They are complementary of each other. We both have a different role to play. I was talking to a woman earlier today about single parenthood, and because it's Father's Day, and someone said, she mentioned that someone had greeted her and said, "Oh, happy Father's Day to you," because she raised her son herself. I'm a single parent. I raised my son myself. And when people say to me, "Happy Father's Day," I say, I'm not a father. I'm a mother. It took the two parts to create this person, this human being. And when one of those parts are missing, if not for the grace of God, that child is already set up for all kinds of mess.
Totally.
And then we have some who grew up in a household with both mom and dad there, but one of them wasn't present physically, as in they weren't involved in the child's life. They didn't interact with the child. That kind of person will grow up with some kind of dysfunction. We can't mess with the way God has ordained things. We're trying it our own way, but it's not working. And so, I think communities, society, nation, both sides need to come together and actually sit down and have a dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue now on the internet. If you see, the men are saying it's the women's fault, but nobody's going anywhere until we come together and talk this thing out and then find a way to move forward. Or else there'll just be generations and generations and generations of dysfunctional human beings who, once they are set on the path to destruction, people that are involved with them will most likely go that way with them, unless people pull back from them. Wow. So that was just my bit. It's a compounded problem.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making it clear. I think I now 100% agree with you on the possibility that maybe the man has low esteem. Now that I understand the angle you are looking at it from.
Why would he hand over, his life's earnings? Unless, as they say, maybe the woman kind of jazzed him. But even jazz doesn't work on everybody. If your mind, you've got a sound mind and you're in the right place. If
Yeah.
things are suggested to you, you just go, no, I don't want that.
And
Because
you know
it's
what?
not part of you.
The story has it that the lady ended up giving him some dose. Yeah, he was
Ah.
now. Yeah, he dosed him up. He drugged him, and
Yeah.
yeah, before cutting him out. So I just imagine, you can imagine the kind of person you are sleeping with. You are sleeping with a devil's cousin, a
Wow.
devil's
It's
cousin that will
dangerous
have
out
the
there.
mindset to cut you like that, like chicken. So
Yeah.
my appeal to all men out there, because I want us to go into the next part now, which is talking about the book launch, because I want to make sure that we spend just within an hour. We might not be able to go long today because of power issue, and my solar isn't functioning. Wasn't able to store more light because of rain. There's
Yeah. I heard
raining
that.
in Nigeria. So now I want to believe that one of these days we will revisit this part, but now we are going to now concentrate on the female aspect, because I must be candid with you. I see a lot of girls also that is like their mission. They were anointed to come into this world just to cause havoc in other people's
Yeah.
marriages, in people's life, in people's emotional stuffs, and you see a lot of them on Instagram. So my advice to men, if you know that you are not built enough, you are not well built to restrain yourself, maybe you should just go off Instagram. Because
Mm.
if you have Instagram, if you have some of this app, if you have some of these social media handles, you will see them a lot. But once I see them, there is a way. I'm not boasting. I know that is the grace of
Yeah,
God.
self-control.
It's the grace of God that is helping me. But once I see them, I just see them that, why should I pick up my little angel down there and put it into a dustbin? Why should I pick up my third leg and put it into a soak away? I see to me it's like a public latrine. Just
Mm.
they rub oil on the body doesn't mean that what is inside that body is what you should
Anointed.
allow to come close to you. Sometimes,
Yeah.
because sometimes I enter public transport, sometimes it's not all the time I drive. Sometimes you see some ladies, they are just out there. Some of them will even release their boobs on you. They know what they are looking for. They know.
God,
No, it might look funny, but they know what they are looking
no, it's
for.
shocking.
Anything that
Mm-hmm.
is precious, anything that is precious, you will be the one as a female to guide it. So, but if like 16 men have seen you per week, 200 men per month, so there is nothing to be guided about. So you can just
Mm.
flaunt it in face. So that's how I've retrained my mind to be looking at them like that. Any lady that is that easy and this thing, I just take it at public toilets. So how should I take my body and put in a public toilet when I have a beautiful wife that cherishes me, that knows God, which you cannot give. You don't even know the God that created you. So why should I? So, and I don't tempt myself.
Mm.
Let me tell you, maybe if you are just talking like this, it will not be balanced. Let me balance things up. There are sometimes you see some ladies, you just naturally like them.
Mm.
Once I naturally like you, sorry, I will never be in the same room with you alone.
Wisdom.
Once I naturally like you, I will never go to a place with you without my wife being there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that in case NEPA decide to take light, I will not be
Mm.
looking for matches on your body.
Mm.
So that's the wisdom. That's the wisdom that comes with it. So it's not just about, because I've seen Christians, I've seen people that are saying they are pastors, they are Christians, they fall. I have decided that I am not a pastor, but I don't want to fall, because I love my wife and I don't
Mm.
want to repeat what I saw my dad do
Mm.
to my own mom, and he died for it. He died for it. So I've learned my lesson in a hard way. So if my dad died and you are coming to shake your boobs on the Instagram, may thunder fire that boobs. So, so, so now
Okay.
let's go let's go now
Um,
to this last
Yes, enough
so,
vengeance on.
yeah,
Let's move to the next.
let's go to Chooks now.
Okay.
Everyone, we have Chooks Ogbekpile here. He happens to
Fire,
be
judgment. No, it's true. It's true.
we have Chooks here with us. He happens to be my former schoolmate, the University of Benin. We both studied economic statistics together. I studied economic statistics education. He studied pure economics. Now, we graduated together, and I was so surprised. I thought I was the only one that is always reasoning in a super normal way, that some people call it abnormal. I told myself that at age 35, I'm going to retire, not resign. I'm going to retire from banking to set up my own business empire, which I did at exactly age 35. I retired in fashion, shoemaking, cloth making, and photography and videography. Only for me to see this young man, he was moving up well with a company that I don't want to mention the name now, a very popular telecommunication company in Nigeria. He was going up that they even gave him a Hilux to be carrying him about with driver and the likes. All of a sudden, he decided to resign and retire into his own business. And I have the opportunity to bring him on board today because we have actually been to we've hosted I've been on one of his training to train some youth in business development, entrepreneurial, and the likes. I don't want to talk too much. I want him to introduce himself because he has a program that is coming up now. I think it's in August, isn't it? The program is coming up in August. He actually wrote a book about entrepreneurship. And when I saw that this is the topic of the book that he has written about, I felt, wow, this tally with my vision for the African youth, and is something that I want to bring him on this platform. And I believe that by the time he's going to be done with his book launch, we should have some of these books being handed over to some of these our youth that we are training under our foundation. I wanted to say amen, somebody.
Amen, somebody.
So, with, with, with that being stated, I have the privilege to invite him here. But let me tell you something. I was so surprised and happy because he reached out to me that we should come up to cover that is book launch. So you can see what I'm saying, that when we grow together in Africa, when we assist each other to grow, at the end of the day, we are helping ourselves because we will end up patronizing each other and will make the world a better place. So for his book launch, I want to introduce Chooks Ogbekwile. You have the floor now.
Yeah, thank you, Setro. It's been a pleasure having to do with you. We've known for some years, just like you rightly stated here. The book launch is coming up in August, and I'm happy that it is coming out. It is something that have been in my mind. I have been on this book for well over 5.5 years now. I think if I get it right enough, I took the step as at May 2016, and today, during the COVID lockdown period, I had the opportunity to really add some flesh and whatever, and came out with it good enough. And I had to send it to a prof to help proofread. From there, it played into the hand of one of the university press, notable university in Nigeria, and from there, from there, we were able to. Um, they decided to publish it, and that is what. But one thing I want us to know, basically, about the book is that it has bothered me a lot. We are statisticians, and we trained in economics. That I see a lot of youths who want the type of life they want. They tend to understand the type of life they need to live. They have a picture of where they want to go to. Just like growing up reading the book Chike and the River by Honor and
Mm,
and Chike was his replica of an average African child that has the
mm,
vision. He wants to cross to the other side of the city. He was seeing the city at the other side,
mm,
and but there is a river between him and the city. So the challenge now became the river. That is the price he has to pay to get to the other side, which is the
mm,
desired end, the goal. So I titled it The Prize for the Prize,
mm,
leveraging entrepreneurial opportunities in our age and environment to stardom. So if it has gone to the extent where an average person, an average young man on the street, every car that drives past them, they will tell you the name, the year it was made. Some of them will tell you the prices, and they will so savor it. They
mm,
wish they already have it. But how to cross to that side to get it, that is
mm,
what the is all about. So a good number of years of research has been put into it, and I made it to adapt to at least countries and cultures wherever it is seen and it is read. That if
mm,
everybody would want to, if you would do what I called in the book
mm,
environmental scanning, external environment and internal environment. Look at
mm.
the environment around you and look at what you can do when you
Yeah.
assess yourself. You can't solve all problems.
Mhm,
Then you should be able to synchronize the outcome of your external environmental scanning and the one of internal and bring them together and come up with a solution that will be marketable.
mm.
And that is what basically the book is all about. And I'm very happy to say that to have this book released, and I mean, I'm the happiest person because I believe it will change the lives of so many youths.
Mm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh, Madam Faith, I want to see if you have any question for him.
Yeah, I've not read the book, so
Okay.
it's just I'd like to read the book when it comes out, and then but I think it's a good idea because our young people need direction.
Okay.
In terms of having vision. Even if you have a vision, you still need process. The vision is like you see a house, that's the end goal, but there's a process to getting to that place. And I
Yes.
think our young people need to be mentored, and be shown the way, whether it's through one-to-one, interpersonal mentoring, or books, or media stuff. They really need it so that they don't go astray and end
Mhm.
up in the wrong places.
Okay.
Letting them know that anything you can achieve what you want. But there's work to be done to get there, and nothing is built
Fine.
overnight. It takes time.
Ye- Yes.
So you need to learn patience and consistency. All these
Mm.
character traits that we need to be able to work things out and get to our final destination. I think it's important that our young people have it today, because some of them see uh, things, they want things that maybe someone that's as old as their grandfather wants, and they don't take into account the number of years that it took to
It's part,
acquire
it's
those
part,
things.
that is part of the prize we are talking of. To
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
prize they desire, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you are getting it right,
You
and
yeah.
know
it is
what?
So,
basically what the book is all about.
oh,
Let,
that's
let me
good. I can't wait to read it.
let, let me come in when you talk about the price. Huh?
Yes.
I looked at thank God this I have my schoolmate here. I
Mhm.
happen to be the best graduating in my set 2006 for economic statistics education. I was quoted as one of the best of Uniben's brain by
Mm,
Campus Trend magazine. But people do not know how I got all that.
That
There
is
is
that is the
always a
point.
there is always a prize you see before the glory.
Yes.
I What made me to come out the best there is the fact that I got my jam form before I picked the school that I will be going to. I
Mm.
travel around so many university campuses to check them out.
Mm.
But to cut the long story short, I got to University of Ife. That was the year that nobody graduated in their College of Medicine, I think. When I got there, the person I went to stay with, I did not see him until the following day. What was he doing? He was reading.
Mm.
Mm.
I was
The
there,
price.
he was reading, and by the time he came back, I said, "Is this how you read in this school?" He said, "Yes."
Mm.
But he said, when I heard that, I said, "This is the school I'm coming to." But he now said something that made me change my mind. He said, that they are reading doesn't mean that they will come out with good grade,
Mhm.
because in the University of Ife, I make bold to say this because that's what he told me, that they have so much sadness there that at best they prefer to give you 2-2. When I heard that, I said 2-2, no. If that is what is happening here, I'm
Mm.
not ready to come to this school. I'm ready to read. I am ready to do the price.
Mm.
I have to
Mm.
pay the price. But I want where my results will show my effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I, I can't imagine there is no father. I'm a single, I'm trained by a single parent. At the end of the day, with all the struggles, I'm not going to get the best of results. No.
Mm.
That was when I now traveled to University of Benin. On getting to University of Benin, I saw them, they were partying, they were enjoying themselves. Hello, I said, yes, this is the kind of school I want to come to.
You excel there.
A school where they still have time for social life.
Mm. Mm.
A school where I now ask them, what about this? And they say, if you read here, it is what you put down that will determine your
Mm.
grade. I
Mm.
said, no, this is the school I'm coming to, but I'm not going
Mm.
to read the way they are reading in this school. I'm going to
Mm.
read the way they are reading in University of Ife.
Yes.
I can come out with the best of results that I long for.
Mm.
Would you know that when I got into that school, I started, he's my classmate. If I'm lying, let
Mm.
him fall through. I started teaching my own mates, and they were
Yeah.
paying me for it.
Mm.
Tutorial. Yes.
They called me Dio Tutorial in University of Benin. I was, I was taking like 4 courses, each of them for 500 naira per semester.
Mm.
Microeconomics, macroeconomics, applied econometrics, applied
Mm.
economics. That was how I was taking them. I was taking the classes, the set after me. That was how my numbers was increasing and the likes of them. That was how I survived the school. To a
Mm.
point that I did not need money from home. I was getting money from
Yeah.
being paid. That
Mm-hmm.
is the price. And at the end of the day, I effortlessly came out the best graduating for my set. Now, when it was time
Mm.
to have the convocation that we are
Yeah.
supposed to come for handshake with the VC,
Mm.
Chooks, were you there? Did you come for your convocation?
I doubt. Dayo, you know I
Okay.
was a businessman. I guess I
Yes,
was
yes,
out of
from
town.
homestead. So I came for the convocation, Madam Faith. You won't
Yeah.
believe when they called in the hall, they called my name to come out and have the handshake with the VC. My phone rang, and that was the phone call that changed my life.
Mm.
When my phone rang, I was being called to come and pick up employment letter under the most interesting, the most loving billionaire in Nigeria. I will forever love him. His name is Mike Adenuga. He, wa- he,
Mm.
was, he was the owner of Equatorial Trust Bank, ETB.
Then,
Mm.
yeah.
I
Mm.
got a call that I should come and pick up because I had one-on-one interview with him. I love the
Mm.
man. I I love him till tomorrow. No matter anything that anybody says about him, if you want me to fight you, just talk rubbish about him. So that was how I I left the handshake. I didn't go for the handshake.
Mm.
I, I took the next bus back to Lagos, and that was
Mm.
how I started my banking career. So that to me is a summary of his kind of book, because I know
Mm.
him to an extent that
Mm.
you are talking about the price before the prize.
The
Mm.
price, the glory.
I'm
Mm.
so happy with that, and I hope that during your book launch you will give me space to talk to your people.
Very well. You are welcome, Daya. You are welcome. You are
Okay.
welcome. You are
Okay.
welcome.
When is the
So
book going to be available?
I think it should come out in August.
okay,
You heard
I
me?
think
Okay.
Okay. And will it will be available online?
yes,
Definitely.
I mean, to oh yeah,
it's,
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's
Amazon
available
and
on.
stuff, right?
Yes.
We are
I'll
already
make sure.
making plans for
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
Okay, I think the launching is on Saturday, 14th of August,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be an interesting one because Central Media is going to be there live. We are going to cover
Mm.
the event,
Okay.
videography and photography. So
Yeah.
that's additional income for us, so that we can be able to take care of our foundation. So, and I'm going to be bringing him back.
Yes.
I'm going to be bringing
Mm-hmm.
him back a week
Yeah.
to the book launch. I'm going
Okay.
to be bringing
Book
him
launch.
back. So we are going to do a video about a summarized video about his book launch,
Mm-hmm.
when it's actually launched, and we'll see
Mm-hmm.
also how we can support his book launch, so
Mm.
that
Okay.
whatever we have for him, our followers here to
Yeah.
contribute to those that want to buy like 100. These are the kind of books that we should send to these youth. They need to see people that are life testimonies, not stories. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know him, he resigned from, in short, let me mention the company. They can't do anything to you again. At least you have retired from there. He worked with MTN. You understand? He worked with MTN Nigeria before he resigned from there into this now. And it's probably, I'm going to be bringing him up also to help us to train, to physically train some of our youth in entrepreneurship and the likes, because I know his wealth of experience and the likes of them. So, with that being said, I am so glad and I'm happy that we have you. So, Chooks, I want to tell you that what we can do, I'm going to go through your books, and you know me, I'm a very direct person. I won't do hanky panky. If your book is not good enough, I will come and say it here. But I can assure you, I know that your book is good enough because I've listened to your training. Some of the trainings that we anchor together. When is your session? I'll just be nodding my head that, is it the same brain both of us are carrying? So I know your books is going to be very decent. And the fact that I know that you come with stories,
Very
verifiable
well.
stories. So I know
Yeah.
that is going to be interesting uh, to read.
Ooh.
So what we are going to do, Madam Faith, you are now double
I mean,
impact.
dude. Hey, double portion. How comes?
so with that being said, I know that by the time you launch your book, we will also help to get your book across to our youths. We can boast ourselves that we have trained quite large numbers of youths. So we'll
Mm.
be able to buy. If it is for us as a foundation, we'll support you by buying some of your books and give to our
Mm.
youth. And I know that our supporters here, we also buy so that we can go out and give it out to so many other youth, so that their life can
Mm.
be transformed. That's how we can change
Mm.
this youth. We
Yeah.
engage them on what they need to do, and we give them books, materials that will make them know that they have to pay the price. You
Yes.
can't just, you can't just buy Lamborghini without working for it. So with that being
No
said,
free ride. Mm.
So with that being said, I want us to give our parting words because I have 3% on my laptop.
The
Okay.
same here. We're in the same
So,
Lagos State.
so
I
let's start,
okay.
let's start
You
from
should start
you.
with me. Okay, yeah. Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much
much.
for this opportunity. So whatever happens, whatever the outcome is here, history will not forget the part you have played in ensuring that this. My part, I have done my part. I've really put it down, and but some of you who will pass it to the people that need to get it, I will be very, very impressed, and that will be my greatest joy. Let them get it, and I assure you, whoever lays hands on it will call for more. I assure you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
That
very
would be
much.
good. And the aspect of the soft copy, please work on the soft copy because majority of our followers they are not based in Nigeria, so they will be willing to
Okay.
buy it soft copy from you as well.
No,
The hard copy, I can
no
guarantee
problem,
you,
God.
some of them we buy for us to give it out to our youth. You understand? So,
Yes.
Madam Faith,
I'm sorry. What do you mean by soft copy? Is that like Kindle, like an ebook? Have you got a Kindle
Yeah.
edition?
yes,
All right. Very important. Yeah. So people
Yes.
can download.
yes.
Yeah. All right then.
Okay.
Well,
I can
well, thank
I
you
can
for.
assure you that I can assure you that Madam Faith will buy it if the book
Yeah, but
is
I'm a Kindle
Yeah.
person. I download
so.
books
Okay.
because there are too many books to
That would be
carry
great.
around. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Beyond buying, if you can kindly pass to somebody, I
Oh
will
yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
it. Yeah.
definitely because the
Let's
youth
do
need it.
it's,
I mean, some people
it's
my
about
age probably
knowledge.
need it as well.
It's about knowledge share. I'm a knowledge merchant.
Yes,
As much as I receive,
yes,
I pass
yes,
on. So basically.
yes,
So
yes.
Dayo, thank
Thank
you
you. Will
very
do.
much. My
Will
my
do.
battery
Okay.
is thank you.
Before your battery gets low, Madam Faith, before you say anything, I
Hmm?
want to say thank you so very much that the laptop for the young boy is already in Lagos now. I want to say thank you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Thank
we
you,
thank God.
Faith.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
Thanks.
you so much.
it was good.
Yes, ma'am. So
We
you
thank
have
God.
your closing remarks
Yeah.
now, Madam.
Okay, well, not
Your
much.
closing.
Well done, gentlemen, for the work you're doing. For our young people, it's really appreciated, and more hands are needed on deck. So, just continue to do your thing and give my love to Ife and the family. I always call her Ife, but Joke, you know what I mean. And the young ladies.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
y'all have a good and blessed week. Yeah, and we'll see
Wow.
you
Okay.
Thank
again.
you so very much.
Thank you, Faith. See
So
you again.
from
Thank
all
you
of us
too.
at the Centros, we want to say thank you very much. If you are seeing this video for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channel, click on the like button and share our videos. If you have watched
And share.
this and you have
And
not
share.
have
Yeah.
you yeah and you have
Mm.
not clicked us a thumbs up, please do so and share. Thank you very much. So see you guys on
Yeah.
Sunday,
Yeah.
8 p.m. when I'll bring another set
See
of
you.
wonderful people with Madam Faith. I feel like hugging you.
Hug, 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 hug.
Thank you.
Okay, bye
Thank you
bye.
very
All
much,
right.
guys.
Have a lovely
Thank
week,
you. God bless
everyone.
you.
And
Thank
you.
you,
Bye.
Faith. Thank you.
Yeah.